What's up guys, Mike here from Swood and Mike G, and in today's video I have a special treat for you guys. So when I watched this happen live, I could not believe my eyes. Tbolt is back and he has made another meta breaking deck for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ghost Bait. What it is it's essentially the old Logbait mirror deck from way back in the day. You replace Rocket with Fireball, you throw out the bowler for the Royal Ghost, and the deck just works so smooth. To be honest, after the challenge was over, Tbolt said he might end up switching out Goblin Gang for guards, just because they're more effective at dealing with the Royal Ghost, but he likes the fact that Goblin Gang is very strong at baiting out Zap, which gives the minion horde a lot more free range. So he is kind of unsure about what he wants to do going forward, but he's definitely going to test out both, so that is an option for you guys at home if you want to sub something out from the list. In the words of Moon Knight, give a man a Goblin Barrel, he'll play Peckadevil Prince. As you know, Tbolt is famous for that deck. It's what put him on the map. But if you teach a man to Goblin Barrel, he'll become Tbolt, he'll become a god, and he'll find a way to break the card like no one else has done before. This deck is absolutely insane, and I can't wait to show you guys just how crazy this deck can be. Alright, so let's jump into the first replay. Tbolt went a clean 12-0 in this challenge, not really dropping a single game. There were a few nail-biters there, but he ended up pulling each and every one of them out, and it was the first time he ever played the deck. So I think that shows just how resilient it is and how much potential this has going forward. So Tbolt throws out the Goblin Barrel starting play and plays up the Furnace to clear up the guards by Optimus. And Optimus chooses to play Poison. Now, this is a pretty strong starting interaction usually. However, Tbolt baited out the Poison. He's going to go ahead and play an extra aggressive Goblin Gang, which gets zapped out of existence. This is very good for Tbolt. He knows both spells from Optimus Prime, and he knows both in my rotation. Unfortunately, Tbolt doesn't really have a hand to capitalize off this, but going forward to the rest of the match, he knows exactly what Optimus is working with. More importantly, he knows Optimus does not have log. This is huge and is going to be very crucial in Tbolt winning this match. Obviously, those this deck can win when they have log. There will be a replay of that coming up later. So, Tbolt decides to minion horde, clean up a bunch of the cards, gets a few ticks off those guards. Tbolt is going to decide to log to let the minions clear up the rest of it, and he's going to put Goblin Gang to try to defend the graveyard. Unfortunately for him, that log might have been a little bit too much of an overextension, and that graveyard is going to take that tower down all the way to 2 health. This is a very unfortunate situation for Tbolt, because not only did he basically lose the tower, because that tower is at zap range, but it didn't die. That's so unfortunate for him, because now, as the graveyard player, he can just go super offensive on the other tower and not have to worry about the king. So, Tbolt is going to decide to make the best of a bad situation. He's going to defend the Mega Minion with the Minion Horde, forcing Optimus to have to go and defend that and the barrel, splitting up his elixir. Tbolt knows he has to basically put some damage on the field, so he goes for the Fireball to hit the Royal Ghost. He's basically just making it so the Optimus has to zap, and Optimus, being an absolute legend, decides to play Graveyard, a 5 elixir card, to finish off a tower with 2 health that would have died to the Royal Ghosts. So, yeah, you can start to see why Tbolt makes a comeback in this match. So, Tbolt is going to go ahead, Psycho Royal Ghost in the back. Very strong play, just for the fact that, you know, Verdragon does not hit it. Tbolt is going to go ahead and play a Furnace to clear up the left side, as well as a log. And it's actually going to do a surprisingly good job, basically cleaning up all damage that could have potentially hit on his tower. He's going to clean up that tower to 448 with the Goblin Barrel, and then he's going to be an absolute legend, mirror the Goblin Barrel, and take that tower from 448 to 0. So Optimus Prime knows that tower is done. He goes in really hard with an Ice Golem Graveyard Poison combination. However, at this point, Tbolt is in a really good position. He played the Royal Ghost to clean up the Ice Golem, and those towers melted the skeletons. Going forward, his tower's at 1467, the other guy's at full, and he's down in a little bit of elixir, but Tbolt is extremely favored. Why? Because he just has to take out the tanks. The graveyard's going to do nothing to his tower otherwise. He can graveyard poison all he wants. It's going to get maybe 1 skeleton every single time if those tanks do not manage to cross the river. Tbolt just has to melt those, and all that 5 elixir is going to be wasted away. And you want to know it doesn't work? Poisoning the tower down to 0 when you're running against a poison bait deck, it just doesn't work. It's not going to happen. And if I was Tbolt in the situation, I'd be extremely ecstatic to be in the situation I was. He just got kind of blessed up, to be honest. So that that interaction there was pretty cute. So the Royal Ghosts hit the Fire Spirits, causing the other Royal Ghost to hit the other Royal Ghost, and they showed up live when normally they wouldn't have, so that was really well played by Tbolt. I really enjoyed watching that interaction live. So, moving forward for the rest of the game, Tbolt has already made up a huge damage deficit, and he's even in Elixir. Check that out, that tower's already down to 668 from 2,500, and Tbolt's tower is sitting nice and pretty at 927. Obviously, there's a poison ticking down on it, but once again, that's a poison that isn't going to be killing his troops. His tower got down to 269 though, and that's just a testament to how good Royal Ghost is and how meta-changing it is as a card. Now, in tomorrow's video, I have a really cool deck for you guys. It's a minor cycle deck featuring Royal Ghost of my own creation, as well as my thought process on how Royal Ghost impacted the meta and what the best decks going forward will be. We also have quite a few special decks for you guys coming up in the next few days here. We have a Hunter Royal Ghost Expo deck, which got a clean 12 win. We got a Giant Prince Royal Ghost deck, also coming up with a 12 win. And more importantly, our Christmas special this year, or New Year's special, we haven't really decided which one yet, is going to be everything you need to know about the Royal Ghost, how it impacted the meta, how to use it, and how to counter it. It's basically going to be one of those old OJ videos with slightly less editing, a little more commentary, and some gameplay thrown in. So I hope you guys are looking forward to all those videos, and stay tuned for some exciting new content coming up. So now that I've shamelessly plugged myself and shouted out my own channel, let's go ahead and watch the rest of these games live. So, with 2:15 left on the map, Tbolt is facing down a Mega Knight. He decides to go Miner, which tanks the tower. This is really big, because that let the Mega Knight do its thing, jump onto the tower, making Tbolt a very sad panda. If I was Tbolt in this current situation, I would have this, just this, and then probably this too, to be honest. I would not be a very happy camper. Tbolt decides to make the best out of a bad situation, play the Furnace, it's going to get poisoned out, then mirror the Furnace to get some extra value in there. So Tbolt actually isn't really in that bad of a position, to be honest. He's only down 2 Elixir, but because of that secondary Furnace, he's actually up quite a bit, and while he's down in damage, that's easily to be made up by this push right here. Look at that. The guy from No Mercy had to zap the Goblin Barrel because he didn't really have any effective counters in hand. And the one Fire Spirit locked on, and every single one of those level 10 goblins got a stab. That puts that tower down to 727 after the second wave of Fire Spirits, and Tbolt is once again in a commanding position, even after the Jumpman hit his tower. So Tbolt, recognizing his mistake from last time, is taking 0 chances. He plays the Royal Ghost, he plays the Minion Horde, he plays the Log. He just wants to make sure that thing dies, and it dies quickly. That thing is getting no damage, not today, no sir. The Royal Ghost locks onto tower because the Miner is played on the tile on the tower, so it splashes onto the tower and the Miner, which is absolutely insane. That Fire Spirit hit the tower, and he had to soak up the other 2 with a Skeleton Barrel, which are just going to get melted away by more Fire Spirits and a tower. So this is really not the position No Mercy wants to be in moving forward for this game. Unfortunately for Tbolt, No Mercy's tower has the tower pretty low. Those Spirit Goblins took that down to 600, and this is likely going to hit a 2-2 situation. So Tbolt's Spirit Goblins actually got a lot of work in here, and that Royal Ghost clutched up, not going for the Mega Knight, it went for the tower, finishing that tower off. 22 seconds left, and Tbolt's tower is sitting pretty comfortable at 357. He's able to, capitalize off the fact that No Mercy has to really go in right here, try to get that final damage, and Tbolt's basically just gonna make sure he doesn't get 3-crowned here. He's not gonna overcommit too much on defense, knowing that tower is done. He's gonna go ahead and play Goblin Gang, clear it up. The one thing I didn't like about his play is playing both the Furnaces. He should have just played one Furnace and been more aggressive with like Minion Horde Goblin Barrel at the bridge, because that would have gotten a lot more damage off the tower. That being said though, he's still in a very commanding position. Once again, this deck is very powerful in a 1-1 tower situation. You have a lot of defensive options, and then being able to play things in the pocket usually isn't all that devastating, because you have just so many places you can put things. You can play the Furnace on the right side to draw things to the King Tower. You can play things in the pocket. You can just make things work. It's not really a problem, versus a lot of other decks kind of struggle to really defend a deck like Logbait, because now you have the ability to play things in the pocket, and that's actually a really big plus for this deck, because it adds a whole new dimension to where you can play your cards. So now that mirrored Minion Horde is going to put in a lot of work, clean up the Mega Knight, clean up the Skeleton Barrel. That Log is going to make sure no damage gets through. And Tbolt, with his Royal Ghost, is already taking the tower down to 1239. You can start to see why this deck works so well. You have so many different kinds of cards your opponent really doesn't have a lot of ways to answer everything. They might be able to answer 1 or 2 of your win conditions very efficiently, but they're not going to be able to answer every single win condition you have efficiently, and that one you do, or you're able to push through consistently, you can just mirror to get a lot of damage through, and once that tower gets to a nice low degree, you can just go ahead and spell cycle it, throw the fireball, throw the mirror fireball, throw the log, do whatever you need to do, get that damage through. Actually, if Tbolt does that right here, he goes to the mirrored fireballs and a log to finish off the game like an absolute savage. So, moving on to his 11... That was his, wow, sorry, to his 12-win match. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the final game against Pepe. This guy is actually pretty good from Mega Argentino. I believe he got up to 21, and I'm really excited to commentate this match because this man is playing a deck that is very, very popular right now. It is the Royal Ghost Bridge Spam deck. Now, this deck is actually back, and in my opinion, better than ever. The only reason I'm not going to cover it personally on this channel is because I feel like a lot of other people are going to cover it really early on. But if for whatever reason it doesn't show up on YouTube in the next few days, you already know you can expect a video on this deck from me. Because this deck is insane, and in my opinion, going to be one of the stronger decks in the meta. Royal Ghost is a card that enables Bridge Spam to work once again. The reason Bridge Spam is such a strong deck, or was such a strong deck when Night Witch is OP, is because it plays a lot of cards that trade well on both defense and on offense. So even when you just play troops at the bridge aggressively over and over and over and over and over after you have a positive lead, it's really hard for your opponent to gain back the lead even while countering, which is something that's really strange to hear in Clash Royale. It's really difficult for players to gain a positive trade even on defense. And that's what made Bridge Spam so popular back in the day. And Royal Ghost is one of those cards that, once again, is worth way more elixir than it should be. You can easily make that card 4 elixir and have it still just dominate the metagame, hands down. So it's worth its elixir many times over and gets a lot of value on both offense and defense, and that kind of allows Bridge Spam to once again thrive and do really well. So I expect to see a lot of this deck moving forward, and this deck, in my opinion, has a really strong matchup against it. As you're about to see here, Tbolt doesn't even make this look close. He just, easy game, easy life sit. It's not even a problem for Tbolt. He just whips out that Furnace, he whips out that Royal Ghost, and he's just making a nice, clean break towards that tower. Now, a minute 15 left in the game. Pepe's tower is down to 1361. Tbolt is at a clean 2088, and Tbolt is even an elixir. Granted, Pepe has a Royal Ghost, but Tbolt, is no slouch either with his Furnace on the field. Pepe goes ahead and zaps the Goblin Gang out of existence on top of the thing, and that's going to get 1 hit on the tower. They're roughly even in elixir. Tbolt doesn't know what to do here, so he's going to decide to log, and he fireballs. And look, yes, this is the fireball I thought it was. It hit the pencil. I don't even, I would be doing this right now. I'd be doing this right now. You already know the BM would be dropping. I don't give a crap. That was just such a, astounding play to me. It was completely by accident. He did not mean to hit that, but he did, and it was absolutely legendary. That was the game turning point right there. That fireball, and then this was a huge fireball too. With the tower, the Night Witch, and the Bandit. That was so unbelievable. He got 2 great fireballs back to back, and in my opinion, that's what let him come back into this game. And not let him come back, sorry. He was already ahead. That's what, cemented his lead and made sure he was not losing this match. Because now with 7 seconds left, Tbolt is up a nice 700 damage, and you already know this deck can do a lot of damage really fast. Look at that Goblin Barrel in the back, now to 578. Tbolt's gonna play this nice and slow though. He's gonna go ahead, he's just gonna fireball it, he's gonna defend, he's gonna fireball it again, I think, and then he's gonna log it. Well, there's the log. Unfortunately, it missed the tower, but that's okay. He's defending pretty well. He's going to go ahead and play a nice Furnace, clean up the Royal Ghost. He's going to go ahead and play a Goblin Barrel. It's going to get a few more hits, just 1 because he's zapped and bandited, but this is good. That's a Fireball. Now Tbolt just has a cycle to the log before he loses. This is a really scary point though for Tbolt. I was shaking. I was not sure how this game was going to go, but Tbolt managed to cycle to the log, finish off the game, and get the win against Pepe. Now that guy's no slouch. That was a hard match, and I'm really glad Tbolt pulled off that win. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Make sure you try it out in the comment section. I'll have the deck code for it in the comment section down below. It's an absolutely crazy deck. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you, YouTube.